It's about that time that people are going to start filtering in, so I will greet them as they come in with the regular greeting that I just gave at the beginning here when I hopped in. Probably closer to 12 I'll do that, but we'll go ahead and kind of do a casual stretch. So let's get to it. I like to do active stretches before the workout, or dynamic stretches rather. As people come on, they can hop in as well. So I'm just going to start with some hip swings for those of you who are joining. You can do that too. I know my head is going to be cut off a little bit in some of these shots. Actually, fix it really quick, just a tad. See, there's no in between here. Okay, that should do. All right, so some leg swings rather, or hip openers. Actually, those are two different things, so let's just kind of casually go into the leg swings. If you need an upright to hold on to, you can, or you can have your hands at your hips. Just kind of kick in forward and back. Get a nice stretch at the hinge there of the hip. I like to do this about 8 to 12 times, or until I feel that nice little pop. Some of you might have tight hips that make that little pop feeling. If not, good for you. But you'll know when it's enough. It should feel really good. All right, a few more. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's take that to the other side. 1, 2. Hello there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, since more people are starting to come in, that's awesome. We're going into our warm-up. So again, as you come in, those of you in here probably already heard this, but you don't want to be seen since this will be it's being recorded and uploaded for YouTube. So if you don't want to be seen, cover up your screen. There you go, you got it. Or you can be totally cool, and please put yourselves on mute so we can hear this lovely workout music and also myself giving instruction. All right, but anyway, so those who are just joining, we're doing our little warm-up / stretch. We just did our leg swings, kind of working on the hips. Now let's go into our hip openers. It's part of our active stretch. I love doing these. So it's similar to what we just did in that you're loosening up those hips. If you have like clicky hips like I do, this is perfect for that. So I'm going to start with my left this time. I usually start with my right. So I'm just going to circle out for 8 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You don't have to do those funky little dance arms like I am. It's just something to help you stay balanced if you need it. All right, I got my other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, now we're going to take that first leg and we're going to do some hip circles to the inside though, some hip closers. So let's do that for 8. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, we're going to continue our stretching. Let me just check on everyone. Cool, there's 3 of us in here. Awesome sauce. Get that music bumping a little bit more. All right, cool. So now let's work on the upper body some, especially since we were focusing on the upper body today. So I usually don't do this one, but this is good for the lower back and kind of the trunk of the body, as well as the shoulders. Some people kind of use it as a static stretch. I consider the way that we're swinging to be a dynamic, so you're just going to let yourself hang down. You're swinging side to side. You're letting those arms just kind of chill out, let them fully extend. Typically, I would do this for about 20 seconds, just going back and forth. You should feel that stretch on the lower back right here. Typically, someone has a side that's tighter than the other just because we're asymmetrical human beings. But if you've had like an injury on one side, maybe hip injury, knee injury, shoulder injury, you might feel this a little bit more. All right, let's go ahead, roll up. Now let's roll those shoulders back. Let's do it for 12 times. Really get them nice and loose today. So you can either, I'll give you the option, you can either windmill your arms like this, or you can keep your arms down and just roll them back. I'm going to roll them back. All right, so let's roll it back, really squeeze it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now we're moving it forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Ooh, that's good stuff. It's good for that shoulder mobility and getting your shoulders loosened, but you should also be feeling that like right in the lats, right in the larger part of your back. And we definitely don't want that to get tight. All right, so let's see. That should be the most of it. If there's anything else that feels tight that you want to loosen up, please go ahead while I start to talk. All right, it's that time to officially get started. Again, for those of you who have been here before, it's me, Johnny from Roller Derby Athletics. But for those of you who are joining in for the first time, again, it's me, Johnny from Roller Derby Athletics. I'm excited for what we're working on today. It's winter. We're going to get warm. We're going to get healthy. And you're going to feel great. So today we're focusing on some core and arms. Now, sometimes that'll include a little bit of leg work, a little bit of total body work. That just makes this exercise, this workout, even more well-rounded. So hang with me. I'm going to demonstrate everything for you. I'm not going to let you be left hanging. I'm going to make sure you know what you're doing. Just follow along as best you can. All right, I see another person coming in. Hello, welcome. Yes, thank you for muting yourself. We're going to go right into it. All right, so this is part of our core challenge at Roller Derby Athletics. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections to this as our first part of today's workout. Each of these sections is going to last for 2 sets. Some of it might be timed. I'll time it for you, but I'll walk you through as we go. So we'll have good little breaks at the end of each of these sets, and then a good little break in between each of these, I guess, circuits, if you want to call them that. So the first one is going to have 4 movements. It's going to have a hollow body hold, bird dogs, side plank leg lifts, and marching bridges. Some of these we've done before. A lot of this, all of this, in fact, is going to be on the floor. So if you have your mat, go ahead and get out a mat. If you don't have one, you just got like a nice warm floor, even better, but just make sure it's comfortable for you. So a hollow body hold. This is a newer one that we haven't done before. I'll show you as best I can. I'm going to back up here. This is where you're basically flat on the ground, and you want to start with your legs up. You're reaching up, and you're just trying to, from here, slowly come down and hold it at a certain point. So if that makes sense, you want to reach up and then find that point where you're able to hold yourself but not move around too much. And then by the end of that, this is a movement that we're going to time, or I'm sorry, we're not going to time it. Well, I'm going to kind of count it out for 10 seconds. So we're doing reps of it, but it's also going to be for a few good seconds. By the time you get to the end of those 10 seconds, you just want to slowly let yourself come down the floor. So before I demo the next movement, let's go ahead and do our first movement of this for our first set. So go ahead, get on the floor, hollow body hold. We're going to do 5 reps of these. Each of these reps is going to be for 10 seconds. So here's our first one. You want that back flat, except the upper back is going to be somewhat up since you're reaching. So come about here, as far down as you can, holding it still. Let's count for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. That's number 1. Let's do number 2. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, come down. This is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, 2 more to go. Reach up. Woo. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, last one. Reach up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Take a breath. All right, good job. That's all it is. Now, if you ever do those on your own, you want to try them on your own, you can time them. You can do longer than 10 seconds if that's not challenging enough. But if you do 5 reps of that, I'd say like 3 to 5 reps of that. That should be plenty. Okay, our second movement is bird dogs. We're going to do 20 of these total. We're alternating sides. So This is more where you're into hands and knees, somewhat of a prone plank position. We're just going to be right like this. I want you to think about having a nice flat back. And what I'm going to have you focus on is reaching your arm opposite of the leg that's extending. So even when you're here, try not to let those hips rock around. Keep them squared up and hold it for a couple of seconds. Really squeeze the core, tuck the pelvis forward a bit, keep that back flat. And so you'll be switching from here to here. All right, so let's get ready. We're going to do 20 of those total. Just follow along. I'm going to count it out. All right, here we are. Let's begin. Squeeze that core. That's 1. That's 2. Squeeze the booty as well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's halfway. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, almost there, 19, and 20. All right, so the important thing to note about that movement is obviously if you go pretty fast through it, you're not going to feel as much. That's a movement where when you go slow and controlled, you really take the time to squeeze everything, squeeze the abs, squeeze the glutes, keep that head in line with the back, keep that back flat. You're going to feel more out of it. So keep that in mind when we go into our second set of that. All right, movement number 3 is going to be side plank leg lift. So this is actually kind of 2 movements because we're doing each side. All right, so what you're going to do is you can be, I'm going to say you can be on your hand or on your elbow, depending on what feels better for your shoulder. And I want you to think about keeping the hips squared up and your body flat. So you don't want to be sitting far back like this. You don't want to be thrusting too far forward. Think about yourself flat like a board. You're going to have your bottom leg with the knee bent. So you're not stacking your legs this time. That bottom leg is holding you up because we're going to lift that leg up while we're here. So think about that, holding yourself up, and all you're doing is lifting that leg for 10 reps on each side. So let's get into that nice position. I'm in my plank. I'm really squeezing the core. And here we go for 10. 1, 2, try to keep that hip squared up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. So see, I kind of corrected myself while we were going a little bit, and that's okay if you need to. If you feel like you're starting to sag back or your hips kind of rotate, fix it. It's okay. Let's move on to the other side now. I know I'm slightly out of frame. I'm in a small space. Some of you all might be too, though. It's okay. All right, body flat like a board. Hips are squared up. Let's get ready. Pop up on that side, and here we go for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, bring it down. You might be feeling that on the sides and the glutes a little bit. That's great. In addition to working the core, it's getting the lower body as well. Like I said, these have dual, multiple purposes even. So that's good. Some of them are low impact. You still get a lot out of it. All right, and our last movement is going to be marching bridges. Now, we've done these before, but for those of you who haven't done it with me, I'll show you what that looks like. You're going to come down on your back, almost like you're going into some crunches. I'll bring myself into frame here. You want a nice little 45-degree bend in the knees, and we're going to alternate our legs as we do this marching bridge. So flat on the ground, hips are up. You want to keep those glutes tight. You're creating a nice flat angle here, a nice flat decline with your legs. Don't let that booty sag. Keep it up. Engage the core. And as we go, I'm kicking one leg up and then the other. That's where the marching comes into play. So we're going to do 20 of those total. You're switching sides. So I'm going to count out for you. Just try and keep up. If you need to bail halfway through, that's fine. Do as much as you can. All right, let's get ready for it. Squeeze that booty. keep those abs tight. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And come down and relax. All right, so this first time through, going to be a little bit more slow. Let's give ourselves at least 30 seconds to recover before we go into the second time. This time through, now that you know what all the movements look like, it should be a little bit quicker to follow along with. I'll just say what we're going to do, and you follow along as best you can. All right, so let's take 10 more seconds. Our first movement back at the top is going to be those hollow body holds. All right, so let's get in that position in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, get flat on your back. Legs are up, reaching, and for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, that was the first one. Here's number 2. Woo! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, here's number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come down. All right, 2 more to go. Here's 4, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Last one. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. All right. I know, sorry, I'm counting between going up and going down from 10. Either way, I think you have the right idea. And if you ever want to try those on your own and you don't quite have the core strength to get up there, you can always do that with holding your legs. So if you need to ever try that version, that's totally fine. All right, let's get ready for those bird dogs. We're back on our hands and knees, keeping a flat back. Hips are squared up with the ground. We're not letting them twist. We got 20 of these. Let's get ready and begin. Here's 1. Whew. 2, squeeze every time you come up. 3, 4, 5, 6. See how high you get that leg. 7, that'll really help you feel that squeeze. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, feel that squeeze. 15, a few more. 16, 17, 18, let's make these the best. 19, really reach, and 20. Good job. Move it out a little bit if you need to. You can feel that recovery for a sec. All right, we have a longer break on the way, but let's go ahead and finish up this first section here. We have side planks now with a little leg lifts. All right, I'm going to start on this side since I did the other side the first time around. All right, so let's get on our elbows. Zip up that torso nice and straight with the legs. Bottom leg is bent on the ground. Plank it up, and let's begin. 1, lift that leg. 2, 3, 4, 5, try and keep that squeezed up. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. When I say nice and squeezed up, goodness, obviously don't let your hips sag to the side. Again, if you need to correct it midway through, totally normal, totally fine. Let's do that other side now. All right, bottom leg is bent. Squeeze it up, nice and square it up. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and release. Woo, all right. We have one last one before we go to our next section, and that is our marching planks. All right, so let's bring it back down to the floor. All righty. Nice angle in the knees there, nice bend. Bring those hips up, squeeze the glutes, feel it in the core and the hip flexors, and let's march for 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, squeeze, 19, 20, and release. Woo! All right, and let's take a break. Now, if you need to walk away for a moment and get some water, get a towel because you're sweating already, go ahead and do that. I'm going to take a few seconds before I start talking about section number 2. And before I talk about section number 2, like I said before, let's think about any alternatives that we can make for our movements. Now, some of you who are doing these might already know personally what you need to do to adjust a movement, but in general, you know, if it comes down to going slower for something, you know, or maybe holding something a little bit longer, you know, it's not always about speed. These are not our agility movements. This is about feeling the muscles engage. So definitely focus on that. Whatever you need to change it up to, make sure that you are, you know, taking your own pace. I will say that a lot. Listen to your body and take it at your own pace. Those are my biggest things. Okay, so, whew. All right, that's already been 30 seconds, so I'm going to let you rest a little bit more while I talk about our second section. And for this, it's only 3 movements this time, but we are going to go through 2 sets of it. So, a sumo push-up, that's new. This is a different way to work the arms and make push-ups less boring. So we're going to do 10 of them. Now, don't get ready to do them just yet. I'm going to show you what they look like. So the idea is that you're going to have a wide stance, like a sumo wrestler, you know, getting ready to go into the ring. That means your arms are out wide, your stance is out wide in that push-up position, which another thing is you can switch this out for an alternative to be on your knees, totally fine. Now, if you've ever done a renegade row or a renegade push-up, this is similar to that. So ideally, 1 rep is going to look like this. I got my arms outside my shoulder width. I got my stance kind of wide. Let me angle it so you can see a little bit better. I'm here. I'm going to go up, up, and push. Now, you don't have to make the arms dramatic like I did. You can do a simple boom, boom. Doesn't have to be very high up. Try not let the body twist too much. Keep those hips squared up. But that right there is 1 rep, a row, row, push. So let's get ready. Get on the mat, get on the floor. Let's knock out 10 of those real quick. Real quick. Let's knock out 10 of those. May not feel real quick. All right. Here we go. If you need to be on your knees, go ahead. Head in line with the spine, leading with the chest. Let's begin. Up, up, down. There's 1. Up, up, 2, 3, woo, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, woo, goodness, 9, 10, and relax. The next one I might do my knees. The next one I might give you just a front-facing view so you can kind of see what my shoulders look like. But always remember, any kind of push-up you do, lead with the chest, not with the hips. And keep that neck and head in line with your spine. Those are the important things. All right, so our next movement is going to be split squats. These are going to be on each leg. This is kind of like that isolated lunge jump for those of you who aren't familiar and like to do split squats alternating. So I'll show you what that looks like. Generally, you want to do 10 to 15 of these each leg. We're only going to do 10 on each leg today. So you're going to come to your feet for this one. And yes, this does affect your core a little bit and how you kind of hold your posture, right? So let's say I'm going to start with my left leg forward. And I'll kind of give you a side view as well. We want a nice long stride, a nice long lunging position. You don't want your knees to cave in. You don't want your hips to be all twisted. You want your hips facing forward where your toes are facing. And I never want to come too far forward over my toe. I want to come straight down, kind of creating a 90-degree angle with that front leading leg, right? And we're just going to do 10 reps here in place, and then switch legs and do 10 reps in place on the other side. See what I'm saying? All right, so let's get to our feet. Let's go ahead and do those. Just 10 reps. You can put your hands wherever you want. I'm going to put them on my hips. Let's get ready. Woo, and begin. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. All right. Switch out that stance. Now, one side might feel a little wobblier than the other, and that's okay. Have patience with yourself and really focus more on the control, your postural control. All right. Same thing on this side. Let's get ready. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ooh, kick those legs out if you need to. You're probably thinking, well, that's a lot of lower body work, not so much core. But you are really bracing your lower abs into your hip flexors, into your glutes. You're keeping that torso nice and upright the whole time. So it's kind of peripheral core training. This a little leg work doesn't hurt. So good job on that. All right. Now we're going to go into a Mantis Plank. Oh boy, this is a new type of plank. This is a little newer to me, but it's kind of fun. It's going to be a bit different. So in this plank position, you're going to be on your hands and your toes. And again, I'm just demonstrating, so don't jump into it just yet. I'll give you an easy version as well. Basically, you're here, and a rep is going to look like this. Reaching out to the side and touching the toe or towards the toe, and then switching out the side. Now, to make it a little bit easier, if your stability is a little off, you can reach out and place that foot on the ground and then reach towards the toe, which I might do a little bit too because my knees are a bit wobbly. But for that, we're going to do 10 of them total. So that means kind of 5 on each side. We're going to alternate sides. So let's go ahead, get onto the floor, and let's do this movement. Let's get it done. It's going to be great. All right. Hands are under the shoulders, head in line with the spine. Pick a side to start with, and let's begin. Stepping out and tap. Out and tap. So it's more out to the side, not so much trying to reach to the front. This is 4, 5. Really keep it slow and controlled. Woo. 6, 7, 8, 9, squeeze, and 10. All right, come down. So as you can see, that's a lot of muscular control in the glutes, the legs and hips, and the core. So very tricky. If it's not pretty, it's not perfect, that's okay. We're working on that. All right, so let's take about 30 seconds of a rest, and we'll go into those 3 movements again. I'll try and give you different angles so that you can see what they look like. In fact, for this one, I'll lower my camera just a tad since we're all on the floor. Okay, let's take about 15 more seconds. We got those Sumo Push-Ups. I'm going to be facing head on for these. So let's get in position and start those in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm nice and wide. And here we go. Up, up, down. That's 1. Whew. 2, 3. See how I'm leading with my chest? Don't let those hips dip down first. 5. Whew. Take it as slow as you need to. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I could see my hips twisting a little bit in that last one, but it's okay. That's why we're doing this movement, to get better, keeping that core tight. All right, so we got those split squats again. Let's come up to our feet. All right, pick the foot that you want to lead with in the front. Nice long stride, hips are squared up, 10 on each side. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woo-wee. All right. Switch sides. I'm going to show you my other side just for good measure. Here we go. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Keep those legs out a little bit. When I do some leg work, I like to kick the booty. Makes the quads feel better. All right. We're back to those Mantis Planks for the last time. All right. So I'm going to try and face you guys a little bit so that you can kind of see the full view, but it is small in here, so bear with me. All right. We got 10 of these total. Let's get ready for it and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, keep that booty low, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost there, and 10, and come down to your knees. All right, take a few seconds to take a break. Good job on that. Some of those are a little tricky. You know, it has a lot to do with stability and posture, but we can always improve on those on the everyday. Just good job for doing them. Good job for trying them out if you haven't before. All right, 2 more major sections in this first half. We're doing a lot today, but it's going to feel like nothing by the time you're done. Well, it's going to feel like a lot of work, but you're going to be like, you know what? I did those really well. Don't worry about it. You're doing great. All right, so while you're catching your breath, I'm going to talk about our third section, which is, again, going to be 3 movements for 2 sets or 2 rounds. So if you joined me last time, we're going to revisit those I's, Y's, and T's. Don't worry, I'll show you what those look like. So we have I's, Y's, and T's, which is both upper body and core. We have leg circles, which is maybe what you're used to, or maybe a spin off of what you think leg circles are, especially for the lower abs. Don't worry, I'll demonstrate. And then we have roll-ups, which is exactly what it sounds like. I like to call fruit roll-ups, but you don't have to call them. All right, so let's start. I'll just kind of demonstrate this first movement if you weren't here for the I's, Y's, and T's. And then again, the second round will be a lot more fluid. So this is where you're coming onto your mat, and you're going to be on your stomach the whole time. And we're focusing on keeping our upper body, our chest kind of off the ground. You're squeezing the glutes. If you want to go the extra mile and keep, if you can kind of see my feet floating up, you can. Now, if you can't hold it the whole time, that's fine. You can let those toes rest on the ground. The important thing is that you're moving the arms. So the eyes, you have your thumbs up. They're straight out for starters. Eyes, Y's, then you have your grip facing the floor. T, and then your thumbs are kind of down towards the ground here. This is an I also. So it's kind of our rotation here, 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 and here. All right, so basically it's going to be 5 pulses for each of those movements. So if I'm at the Y, I'm doing 5 pulses of that. And I'm squeezing the lower back. I'm squeezing the core the whole time, squeezing the glutes. So 5 pulses for each movement, 5 times. If that's confusing, don't worry, just stick with me and do your best. So let's go ahead. We're in our position. Arms are out straight. Thumbs are up. Let's go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. T. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Whew, take a breath. Here we go. For 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. T. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. Bring those arms back up. Here's number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. T position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, two more reps of that. Okay, here we go for I. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good work. We have one more rep. Catch your breath. Make this one a really good one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. T. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. From here, if you want to take it into child's pose to stretch out not only the lower back, but the arms, go ahead and do a really quick version of that. Now, the part of the upper body that you're going to feel that in most is probably the triceps. So like I said, a lot of these are both core and arms. I described where we're going to feel it in the core. Triceps and shoulders is where you're feeling this in the upper body. So good job on that. All right, we have leg circles now. So leg circles, this means that we're going to do each individual leg for 5 reps. So what that means is you're on your back flat like this. The unengaged leg, it can be bent, it can be flat down, you can have your heel dug in. You're going to have the other leg up and creating a nice kind of D shape or a circle, and you're going as wide as you can, but also as slow and controlled as you can. You should be feeling this right here in the lower abs, and you want to keep those hips, the lower back pinned to the ground. So as you're doing this, I don't want any wobbling. If you feel like how big you're taking it, how big you're making the shape is going to make you wobble, make it a bit smaller, all right? So we're going to do that 5 circles on each leg. All right, get ready for it. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, switch legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, that's all it is. If we want to get fancy with it in the second round, maybe we will, but that's a good little introductory to that movement. And again, to make that more challenging, your leg that's doing the circles will be lower, so that'll make it really squeeze in the lower abs more. But if you're not quite there yet, you can have the leg higher up. That's totally fine. All right, so now we have our roll-ups next. So that is exactly what it sounds like. I want you to take this slow and controlled again. We're going to do 12 of these, actually. And so it's kind of like doing a sit-up, but I want you to be very fluid. So you know how sometimes when we do a sit-up or a crunch-up, we're here and we're using our momentum and flinging ourselves up? This is the opposite of that. I want you to position yourself and take the pacing where you're really going as slow as you can and coming up. Now see there, I had to grab like the back of my legs. You can do that for a little assist, but try to not make this a momentum movement. Try and make it rolling from the upper back down to the lower back and all the way up. So it's a bit tricky, but we'll do it, okay? So let's get ready and begin. Arms are out straight. There's 1. Slowly come down. 2. 3. 4. 5. Really feel that burn in the lower core there. Whew. 6. Halfway. 7. 8. 9. 10. Ooh, tricky one. 11. Last one here. and 12. All right, let's take about 30 seconds. Just kind of relax, kind of take a break. So again, I know that I was a little jerky in those, and you might find that you are too with those roll-ups. Again, they're tricky, but again, we're going slow and controlled, doing our best to just make it as fluid as we can over time. The important thing is, did you feel your core muscles trying to brace and engage to keep yourself in place? If you did, then you are getting out of it what we're going for, just keeping them braced and getting that burn. So, all right, let's go back to the top. We have our eyes wide and T's. Get into that position on your stomach. We got 5 of these reps. Following as best you can. And let's go for eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y's. 2, 3, 4, 5. T. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 3. Take a breath. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 2 more to go. Here's number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. T. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, this last one is the best one. Get ready for it. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. T. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And done. Take a little stretch there. Woo-wee. Stretch so good, I went out of frame. Okay. All right. Leg circles again. Now, like I said, let's make it a little interesting. I'll leave it up to you. If you feel like you're working on your form, your stability, and you want to keep it at 5 rotations on each leg only, that's fine. For those of you who want to kick it up this second time through, we're going to do 5 circles out on one leg, 5 circles in on that same leg, and then on the other side, 5 out, 5 in. Sound good? If you want to try it out, try it out. But I think you all got it. So let's come down to our backs. Whew. That other leg slightly bent on the ground. Have it stable. The leg doing the work. Have it as high or low as you can control. And let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, bring it in now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, switch legs. Now see how I have my head and upper shoulders or upper back off the ground? That will help me ground myself, my hips a little bit better. So remember that. But if you need a hand behind your head, that's okay. All right, let's do that other side. Going out for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And done. All right. You want to rest down on the ground for a sec, you can. You want to roll it up, kind of stretch that lower back, you can. Because, yet again, we're going for those roll-ups, those tricky roll-ups. So, got 12 of those. Whew. If you want to, I like to give people options for this. If you feel more secure with your legs a little bit more straight or a little bit more bent when you're rolling up, whatever works is fine. Just make sure that your hips, your lower back is kind of glued to the ground, all right? You want to really feel like you're suctioning up off the ground, like you're like a suction cup Garfield, right? If that makes any sense. Okay, let's go for it. Flat on the ground. All right, and let's go for 12. Here's 1, 2. I look kind of funny doing this, but it's okay. You don't have to look fancy. 4. You just have to feel it. Whew. 5. 6. 7. Really feel that lower 4 burn. 8. Power through with the lower abs. 9. Few more. Slow and controlled. 10. 11. That one felt better. One more. Woo. 12. Woo. Let's take a break again. Good job on that. Excellent job, everybody. Take about 30 seconds, if not more, before we go into explaining our 4th major section here. We're already almost most of the way through. Can you believe it? Good job. All right, so make sure you're hydrating. Make sure you're stretching. You don't want anybody to cramp up. And make sure that you are just listening to your body. All right, so 30 seconds already. Let's go ahead and talk about our next section. Now, this is only going to be 2 movements this time with 2 rounds or 2 sets still. So this will feel like it goes by pretty quickly. But again, let's make it worth our while. So there's going to be calf raises, 1 foot or 1-legged calf raises. So this does kind of count as 2 movements because we're going to do each side. And this will be 20 on each leg. So I'll go ahead and demo and then we'll do it and then we'll talk about the second major movement. And then again, our second round will be more fluid. So we're coming onto our feet for this, right? And again, this is relevant to 1-footed gliding on your skates, right? We're making this functional and applicable. So I got my feet about hip width apart, right? And then I'm going to pick whatever leg I want to balance on. Your other foot doesn't have to be super high up, wherever you feel most balanced and comfortable. In fact, I'm going to face you now. And you're just going to roll up onto the ball of your foot and onto your toes, and then roll back down. So that's a calf raise, but also kind of making it nice and calculated and slow and controlled. I can't say slow and controlled enough. So we're going to do 20 of those. You can have your hands on your hips. Actually, let me make this a little bit easier for you. Taking the shoes off so we can see what the feet are doing, right? All right. 20 on one side, 20 on the other. Let's get ready and begin. 1. Woo! It's a balance work too. 2. 3. 4. 5. You need to hold on to something, you can. 6. I might have to. 7. 8. Really feel this in the calves. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. And 20. Woo, that burn. I feel that. Hopefully you do too. I'm going to come a little bit closer or a little bit more in frame so you can see my foot and how I'm controlling it. So 20 on the other side. Let's get ready and begin. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Oh, it's getting tricky. 11. I'm doing my best. 12. The balance. 13. It's tricky. 14. Almost there. 15. 16. Woo. 17. 18. 19. And 20. Oh goodness, when we take it slow and controlled, you're really feeling that in the calves there. Now, as you can see, I had a little wobbling. Yes, it's a balance thing. So like I said, if you need to hold on to something, you can, but over time, you want to get more comfortable just staying in place. Another thing is, too, this was part of the struggle. My toes would kind of come up off the ground like this, or I would try and like dig my toes into the ground when I lost balance. Ideally, you don't want to do that. You just want to go cleanly from the toes of the ball of the foot and back down. But again, it's a learning process, and it's a tricky, tricky challenge. All right, but we did both sides, so let's move on to our other movement, which is just a regular old plank. I'm going to time it. So I'm going to time this plank for a minute, but if you need to go until failure, that is fine. So you're just doing as much as you can. So let's get ready for it. Now, another thing you want to keep in mind for your plank, same thing that we've been doing. Head is in line with the spine. You're going to have your elbows under your shoulders, and you're keeping your back flat, glutes are squeezed, right? So that's the ideal form. I'm going to try and angle myself so you can see it. So do your best for this 1 minute that we have. All right, get in position and begin. So for this, sorry, the music died out on me for a sec, but for this, to kind of distract myself, because it is very challenging, even though we're not really moving a whole lot, I try and, just look down between my hands, kind of help my head stay in line, even though I feel like, okay, I'm getting tired, I want to let it sink down. Try not to do that. Just look at something in between your hands. You have your phone, it's a good time to check your emails, check your texts. Whew. Try not to let that lower back curve. You want it all to be flat like a board. So the nice thing about seeing myself in the camera here is that if I need to correct, I can spot where. And always, always, always lower that booty if you can. We have 10 more seconds, so if you're still going, stay strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, good job. Whew. Let's take a minute of a break there. Take some deep breaths. So again, even though we may not be moving around a lot for a plank, it's still, you're focusing on your breathing a whole lot. You're focusing on, the what your form is like. We always want to consider our form. So posture is always good. It just, it may not feel like it's much, but it is. Anyways, I'm telling you things that you've already heard me say a lot. Music is back on. We've got 20 more seconds of break, and then we're going to go into it. So I'm going to keep my shoes on for the calf raises this time. But if you want to keep your shoes off, if you want to keep your shoes on, whatever. I did that to see, so you can see kind of how the movement goes. All right. But let's get back to our feet and do those calf raises once more. I am definitely holding on to something this time. So pick a leg that you want to start with. Other leg's just kind of hanging out. And let's go for 20. We got 1, 2, 3, slow and controlled. 4, 5, and turn a little bit so you can see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, oh my gosh, it's burning. 15, 16, we're almost there. 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, shake that leg out. That calf should be screaming by now. That's good though, we want that. I want to give you a side view, so again, you can see that I'm not just popping up, let my knee kind of pull myself up. Don't let your knee pull it up. Again, it's a nice roll up, okay? So let's get that other side now for 20. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, good job. Kick those legs out. I like to do a little bit of a pump the legs or kicking them forward to kind of loosen up any of that tightness you're feeling there. All right, coming back for our planks. Now we're going to do just a little bit more upper body before we stretch. A little bonus round there. All right. But we're going to do plenty of that upper body work and that core work right here with our planks. So come back to your floor, come back to the mat. We're going to go for 1 minute again. Again, if you can't hang for 1 minute the whole time, do as much as you can. Do it to failure. That's all that matters. All right. Elbows are to the shoulders. Hands are in line with the shoulders. Toes are on the ground. Back is flat. Head is in line with the spine. Let's begin. Timer is going. Keep the glutes engaged. Feel the core engaged. Your whole core, all of the abdominal muscles should be feeling nice and tight and squeezed, but definitely feel it in the lower abs, because that is going to kind of react to what your glutes are doing, right? And just remember to breathe. Can't stress enough how many times I'm doing, core exercise, I'm focusing so much on posture, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to breathe too. We're already halfway there, y'all. Flat back. Nice, engaged everything. 20 seconds left. You can do that. 20 seconds is nothing. Think about how long you've been in a jam before, right? You'd be wanting nothing but 10 to 20 seconds out of the whole 2 minutes. All right, we're almost there. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release and relax. Whew, catch your breath. From here, again, if you just want to lay down on the floor for a moment to relax, you can. If you want to, come down in this position and round out the lower back, you can. Whatever feels good. Take a little moment, just stretch it out and catch your breath. I had so much written down for today, but we'll save some of it for next time. But we're going to do a little bit more of it just to get some extra work in the arms here. All right. So I think what we're going to do is just a quick and dirty push-up combo. Regular push-ups and tricep push-ups. Now, we've done a lot of these before, but this is just going to get a little extra burnout, right, in the biceps, triceps, and shoulders and upper back. All right, so let's take back-to-back regular push-ups with tricep push-ups, 12 each, and we're going to do it just one time through. So it's just 12 of each. That's going to be our finisher, and then you get to stretch, right? So that's not too bad. So if we've kind of forgotten what our form needs to look like, I always talk about form because it's very important. Let's revisit that. We're going to do our regular push-ups first. What is the difference between regular push-ups and your tricep push-ups? Your regular push-ups can allow, face you a little bit here, can allow for your arms to go outside of the shoulders, right? Now we still want to lead with our chest, right? So see how I'm doing this? That's not the position we want, because I'm going to do these on my knees, right? You want your an angle, kind of creating a flat board with your body, and you're leading with the chest instead of doing this, right? Now I said that with some of our other push-ups, but the same applies here. So your elbows are going to kind of bend out at a bit of a 45-degree angle somewhat. You just want them to be kind of in line with your chest there. So think about everything like a flat board. Head is in line with its spine. That, like I keep saying, you can do these on your toes or your knees, whichever you feel. So let's get ready for it. I'm on my knees right now. Let's just knock 12 reps out. I'm already so tired. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, stretch those arms out really quick if you need to. All right, now for the tricep push-ups, the arms are coming in a little bit more narrow. Your hands are going to be directly under the shoulders instead of giving you a little bit of a widening there, right? That means that instead of coming out at like 45-degree angles, you're making a bit of a 90-degree bend with those elbows, or rather the elbows are pointing right behind you. And you should feel your arms grazing closer to your sides so that you're feeling this more in the triceps now. Still going to do them on my knees. You can do them on your knees or your toes. We got 12 of these as well. So again, head is in line with the spine. Back is flat. We're leading with that chest. Let's get ready for it for 12. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's halfway, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, one more, 12, and done. All right. That means that it's time to stretch it out with the couple minutes that we have left. So, all right. So we'll be a little bit more casual with our stretching today. I'm going to say come to the mat or the floor and just kind of round out that lower back. You can let your head hang down if you want to. You can treat this as more of a stretch, kind of reaching for your toes, more of a stretch for the hamstrings if you want to. But since we did a lot more core work, some lower back work, I'm going to use this to round out that lower back. So I'm just kind of grabbing onto my legs and creating a C shape. So typically I like to hold a nice static stretch for about 15 to 20 seconds each. But good job today for everybody who joined me. Those are some tricky ones because I know that I had to watch my form on some of those, but that just goes to show that these movements are challenging enough, even if they don't look like it on surface level, and that we can always improve, right? Goodness. I thank you all for joining me. Again, if you ever have feedback or questions, please put them in the chat or send them my way. I am more than happy to help. If you have any questions about any of the movements that we do in the roller derby athletics programming, also let me know. It's some great stuff, but you are definitely going to see a lot more of our workouts from all the programming that we have. I am here to provide, and a lot of it you can do in a small space like this, and you can do with little to no equipment. So you can pretty much do it anywhere. All right, we're going to do something different now. Let's stretch out the upper back. Just grab your hands behind you and open that chest. Oh, feel those shoulder blades press into each other. Oh, let's hold it here for about 15 seconds. That's a good one. All right, and lastly, I'm going to have you take one arm. I'm going to sit cross-legged like this. Take one arm, kind of reach behind the head, and take the other arm and pull it a little bit more, kind of like you're doing that tricep overhead extension, but with no weight, just as a stretch. Because we did a lot of good tricep and shoulder work today, so let's show those arms some love. Hold this here for about 10 more seconds, and just breathe. Release those arms. Bring the other arm up and do the same thing on this other side for about 15 seconds. All right, and release. Whew. That is everything that I have for today. Come closer towards you. Thank you all for joining me. It's a pleasure working with you all. I'll see you next time, and stretch it out, drink water, have a nice relaxing day.